Hello, Jess Do Film here, continuing my reviews from Toronto International Film Fest. And one of the most exciting movies I saw there was the next Luca Guadagnino film, which is Queer. Now, Luca Guadagnino, of course, released Challengers just earlier this year. So it's kind of crazy when one of your favorite directors releases two bangers in one year. Like, I think I might like this more than Challengers. But then again, with Challengers, I had kind of an unpopular opinion that I really liked it, but didn't love it, and found a lot of the third act kind of annoying. But then also, I did love those last 20-ish minutes. So it's kind of something that I want to rewatch, honestly. And Queer is the same way. It's something I want to rewatch. And Queer is also a film where the third act kind of falls apart for me, but it does have some of the best moments in the film. So let's talk about Queer. This is based off of an old book. And the script is solely written by Justin Kay, who is a YouTuber, always inspirational there. Good old YouTuber Justin. And it was adapted by Luca Guadagnino as just the directing credit. So he didn't even co-write the script. It feels so accurate to the queer experience. And it does show that, sometimes people who aren't queer can write some really great media. Not looking at you, Amelia Perez. Y'all should check out that review. But this book is a lot about the isolation of its main character in really trying to find a connection. But I don't want to spoil much of the plot. Rather, with the technical details, it is one of the most gorgeously shot films of this year. There are some incredible wonders. And also, it has probably my favorite score of the year. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross have one of their best scores yet. I love the licensed music in this movie and how it is used. Some really unexpected needle drops that work perfectly, and songs I've never heard of that are just beautiful and I want to add to my playlist. Daniel Craig is phenomenal in this movie, a total transformative role, but who might even transform more is Jason Schwartzman, which just had a great role in Between the Temples that I already felt was so transformative, but this is like super, super unexpected and transformative, so it almost makes me feel like, oh yeah, like Between the Temples was just like a step above his acting, and this is just like another level that he should get like Best Supporting Actor for this. And then there's Drew Starkey, who I was not familiar with, and he does this fantastic closed-off disposition that I really enjoyed, and I want to see more of this actor in movies, but then again, I haven't looked up his filmography, so maybe I should dive into that. There is a problem that kind of appears more towards the later half of the movie, which is there's a lot of bad CGI in this movie. When stuff could be used as practicals, noticeable CGI gets on my nerves, and it just doesn't even feel necessary in this film. But more specifically for the third act, going into it without spoiling plot details, I didn't even think it was the third act. I thought it was going to be the second act because it felt like, okay, this is something that's building up to something incredible. But then you just see the words epilogue on screen, and it's like, wait, what? That was the climax of the movie, and now we just have an epilogue. And then it goes into this epilogue that is not super long, but has some of the worst CGI and has like a final scene that I love so much about. Like, it's shot so well. It has like probably the best track of the whole film. But there's this performance in the middle of that final scene that was making me hold back laughter. And I was like, this certain aspect just does not work for me. I don't want to spoil the movie, but that final scene was like, it's like so amazing in so many ways. And then that one central part, I'm just like, this is like unintentionally funny. And it was such a clash, and it made me kind of sad because I was like, you almost got like everything right here. Part of me almost thinks that the film would work better without this epilogue, where it also feels like the epilogue has a lot of its themes more on the nose. And some of the epilogue almost feels cliche to other movies I've seen. Scenes reminded me of other movies just done worse. But again, I liked what that final scene said. I also wanted to mention that I really loved the opening title sequence, which is just one of my favorites ever. And I also think that the film has a great understanding of drug use and does it in a very authentic way that doesn't feel cliche. And I think the writing overall is just fantastic in terms of the character dialogue. And again, those first two acts are paced and just structured in a very interesting way. Also, one of my favorite actresses of all time, Leslie Manville, is in this movie. And her role is just kind of like, okay, it's almost like a tropey character in a way. And I was kind of disappointed by that, honestly. So I'd give this such a strong 7. The more I think about it, like I when I first saw Brutalist in this, I was like, these have similar problems, and I think I like Brutalist more than this, but both are like super high 7s that on rewatch, maybe they'll be an 8. But the more I think about it, and we'll talk about Brutalist in another video, Brutalist I think will stay a 7. And when I rewatch Queer, I think that will bump up to an 8 because it's just like the ending it gets better in my mind. Like I was really put off by that central performance in the ending, how that's captured. But the more I think about it, and the more I could excuse maybe the bad CGI in that epilogue and that central performance, because it does really have a profound like last note, even though I feel like the epilogue itself beyond that is so on the nose. I don't know. I'm dying to rewatch this movie, and I can't wait for it to hit theaters because of this, and I think that's a good sign. So that's my thoughts on Luca Guadagnino's Queer. If you were at the festival and you saw it, or maybe you're seeing this much after the festival and you saw it in your theaters, let me know what you think, where you agree or disagree. Just be respectful at the end of the day. I'll see you later. Subscribe for more early movie reviews. Peace out. Bye.